Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about masculinity and men's rights and issues. I'm your host, Brian Crawl, and today we are going to be talking about discrimination against men. Yes, I spoke right. Not women, but anti-male discrimination. What? Does such a thing even exist? I'm sure you probably have never heard of it before, and yet you've probably experienced it and been tricked into thinking that you don't by feminists. So today in this video, I'm going to be exposing the 5 big ways that men experience discrimination against them. Now, there are many more ways that they experience what could be called discrimination. However, since I'm doing so many videos on so many different topics, I wanted to confine this video to forms of discrimination that very definitively fit the definition of the term discrimination in such a way that we could, for instance, as men, file a class action lawsuit or have legislation amended. There's other forms of ways in which men are discriminated against or experience prejudice or are just not equal to women, not treated as equals, or are disadvantaged. And I'm going to be covering all of those in another video. Here in this one, we're going to stick with the big 5. And the first is that women are exponentially more likely to get callbacks for job applications. I noticed myself that once feminism entered its 4th wave, any of the times I would need extra work and would send out resumes, I would barely get any callbacks, whereas I used to get so many. And apparently, I'm not the only man who has experienced this problem. Recently, I saw a Reddit post, which I am linking below for you, where a man actually tested this by doing a little experiment where he sent out 100 resumes as a man and 100 as a woman. The resumes were the same except for the gender indicated, and the female resume got 650% more callbacks. These were sent to the same places, mind you. Same resume, same 100 places. 650% more likely for the female resume to get callbacks. And this mirrors my own personal experience and is technically, in the legal sense, a form of gender discrimination. You know, it's really hard for this one to have any sort of legal action that could be taken. You would have to be doing these tests and proving that the companies were, discriminating against men in an illegal way. And they might be able to get away with it because they might just be adhering to gender quotas, where legally now they need to hire 50% women. And so maybe, they could say, well, we needed to hire women because, the positions we lost were of women and we have to have 50% women, right? So we couldn't necessarily file class action lawsuits against companies who did this if they're just adhering to gender quotas. What we need is the gender quotas to be abolished. But one way or another, even though it's a gray area, it certainly is a violation of the Civil Rights Act. If you want to read more about that, again, the link is below. Next, number 2, family court is extremely discriminatory towards fathers and biased towards mothers. They almost always take children away from the father and give them to the mother and award her child support, which can never be reduced, even when the man loses income. So how is that just? How is it even legal? It shouldn't be. And that is something that, we should be able to change as men if enough of us get together. This is probably not something that would require a class action lawsuit. It is probably something that would require us to influence politicians to change the law. But as we've seen feminism do, these laws can be changed. Are you sure to take your daily dose of red pills consistently so that you can stay out of the matrix? The red pill is a medicine that only works if you take it in the right dosage and never miss a dose. One missed dose of red pills can mean turning back into a blue-pilled limp dick simp under the sharp heel of the evil feminist matriarchy. So make sure you are subscribed and that your subscription is set to all so that you never have to miss one of your daily doses of the red pill, because I'm releasing hot new red pill content every single fucking day just to make sure you don't have to. So make sure you will actually get notified when they are released, because you know that YouTube doesn't want to show you things that don't align with its liberal leftist feminazi agenda, and it shadow bans content creators like me who use free speech to speak out against these politics and stand up for the rights of the oppressed masses of men like you and me. And if you want to help me keep fighting the good fight, please donate using the PayPal link below so that I can keep this work alive, because I simply cannot do it without the support of viewers like you. And be sure to spread these messages and share these videos with any other men you know who could use a nice big dose of red pills. Next, number 3, police are extremely discriminatory towards men and biased towards women, and always take the woman's side against the man whenever they are called, even when he is the one who called about her harming him. I know, because I've been in these situations. And again, this is something that wouldn't require a class action lawsuit unless you live in a big city where this is happening to a lot of men by the same police department. But what really needs to occur is, again, reform in the legal system with how laws are written. But moreover, in this case, what we need is reform in police training. And, this is something that we can affect changes in, just as how the BLM movement has affected changes in police training to help make police less racist. So we also need to affect changes in police training that make them less sexist towards men. Next, in sexual assault, any woman can bring any man up on charges and ruin his life. However, if a man is sexually assaulted by a woman, he has absolutely no legal recourse and won't get taken seriously if he attempts to press charges. Female sexual assault is actually even legal in many places. It is not considered a crime because it is not considered possible for a woman to sexually assault a man. But when it comes to men being accused by women, the women are always believed unless the man brings definitive proof that it was consensual. In these cases, the man is guilty until proven innocent, which is a violation of his constitutional rights. And even if he proves his innocence, then he has still been put through the ringer and had serious damage done to his reputation and life. In many cases, the man will have lost his job and not be able to get it back. He'll have been deplatformed on social media and not be able to recover that. He'll be kicked out of his university, not be able to get back in. False accusations do terrible damage to a man's reputation, and there's no legal recourse against the woman. It's legal for a woman to make false accusations of a man when it comes to sex. When it comes to any other crime, if you lie in court, that is against the law, except for when women accuse men of sexual assault. Why is that the exception? I don't know. It shouldn't be legal, though. And again, this is something that if we have lawyers and politicians on our side, we can make these changes. Lastly, men are perceived and treated as abusers much more than women are. Even when the same exact behaviors are compared. Studies have shown that when people are surveyed about behaviors, the same behaviors in both men and women are seen as abusive by men, but not by women. I've linked a study to this below, all right? And you should really check it out. It shows how when people were polled and asked questions about men or women behaving a certain way in a coupleship, they will label it abusive when the man does it and not abusive when the woman does it. So that's definitive discrimination right there. And there have been numerous social experiments done that show that when a man and woman are arguing aggressively in public, that people will come to the woman's aid, even when the man is like just a little bit verbally aggressive. But when the woman becomes extremely physically aggressive and is actually assaulting the man will just be laughed at for it. So this again is something that we really need to change the laws about. All right. The aspect of public opinion, people viewing men as abusers and women not as abusers for the same behaviors. I mean, that's something we can really only change by changing the social narrative and, talking about this until the consensus shifts. However, when it comes to what is legally treated as abuse and assault, what police will respond to and how they respond, again, that is something that we need to come together as men to work on changing the laws behind and how police are trained and such. So those are the 5 big ways that men are discriminated against. And, there's plenty of other ways that, we are disadvantaged and prejudiced that I'm going to talk about later. So don't worry, I'm going to get to every single issue. All right, but I wanted to keep this one concise. That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button. And if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix and the matriarchy controlling it and learn everything you need to know about female on male sexism, get your copy of my newly released book called Misandry Exposed, on sale now for a special price that won't last long. So check it out by clicking the link below. And otherwise, you can stay tuned for my next video coming out tomorrow. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, men, because no woman out there is going to.